Tim, I guess what did you see from your group pass rushing against West Virginia?
What do I see in our group? Okay, I think we're doing a good job as a group pushing the pocket. We got to make sure we're right there to maybe make some game-changing plays late in the football game. We got to work to finish and make those plays. We're doing a better job as a group of four getting to the quarterback. There's going to be more and more opportunities in front of us. It's a competitive group. Keep them fresh, keep them running after the quarterback. But I think there's more left out there for us to go get.
Go ahead.
Is that typically experience, the finishing? Like you kind of get there and then there's just things you have to learn?
Well, I just think as you get going late in the football game, we got to keep our feet instead of lunging for things like that late in the game and make sure those guys do stay fresh, I know it's an experience thing, make sure we do that. And also, give credit to whoever our opponent is on a given week. Those guys at this level do a really good job of keeping their feet alive, doing a good job with us, knocking them to one another, keeping our integrity within as we rush the quarterback. But those things attribute to it.
Talked with Narduzzi, and he was talking about how everyone needs to be a little bit more disciplined. The defensive line has been pretty disciplined. What do you attribute that to?
Well, I would appreciate that. I think there's more to go. Our best ball needs to be in front of us, and I think it is. And the kids see where there has been growth, and they see that, and they say thank you. But they know our best ball needs to be in front of us. I think what you say, what attributes to their growth and where we can grow even faster is their experience. Now the conversations are a little bit shorter this year as far as, I got it, Coach. I saw what you saw. They know it immediately, and we don't get beat with the same thing twice.
Your defense, your D-line unit was really worn down in that West Virginia game and impacted that overtime series?
No, I think we're in good shape around here, and then we rotate. In every game we played a good number of guys. We need to be at our best when our best is needed, and I think maybe a little pressing and things like that. So I'm anxious to throw them out there this Saturday and watch us improve.
You have 7 different defensive linemen who have recorded a sack, or at least half a sack so far this season. Just how are you feeling about your depth of your overall group right now?
They're competitive, and they know it every day. So if you work your tail off all winter, all spring, all fall camp, and go out there and practice and cash in, then they should be rewarded for their work as long as they can compete at this level. And that's where they're at. They know it. Go out there, give us your all, and then the next guy can go in. Because we know, and the strength of our unit will be the unit. And there's no one's allowed to play tired.
Edwards had a big game for West Virginia a couple weeks ago, but how do you feel like your unit's been overall all season in that game against them?
I think that we had a chance to change the game for us, and for us to be the football team we want to be, the defensive line needs to show up every week and change the line of scrimmage. I think we left some things out there last Saturday.
You said left some things out there. Was it
we got a chance to own the line of scrimmage and the run game. The run defense starts on the D line, and that's the way it's got to be. And we need to be a dominant force, and that's what the kids want. And that's what we got to work towards and go get done. With we lose the football game. Everyone takes accountability. And then we got to get this flipped this Saturday.
You guys have been using some 5-down linemen at times throughout the season. Did you do that much last year?
It is a personnel basis. You watch it. We're seeing some more people going to multiple tight ends and heavy sets and short yardage and things like that. It's shown up this year a little bit more. I think having to do who we're playing. Some of those teams we're playing, that's who they are. Central Michigan gotten big people, and West Virginia gotten some big people. So we match people, and that was common in the past as well.
Is that something you might see or use against Louisville?
It really based on what our opponent does, as we go through it. It's always been in our pocket, and we've had it for years and years around here.
From what you scouted at Louisville, do they do any of that?
If they get in short yardage, we'll get in our short yardage defense to match their people.
Maybe Sean Fitzsimmons been the start this year?
What Sean is, what you love about a lot of people in your life, steady. When Coach Bates calls a defense, I know what 55 is going to look like. That's what I like, and he's doing it at a high level. He gets his one-on-ones. He's winning more and more of those, and a really, really good run defender for us.
What do you think's allowed Crothers to really? Sorry, Abby.
That's what I was going to ask too. So you're good.
What, Crothers?
Yeah, what's allowed him to really just emerge as a contributor this year?
Reps, time. As season went on last year, and we talk about our personnel on a daily basis, you saw him last year just growing and growing and growing. He's a kid. All he does is exactly what you say. That's a pretty good feeling as a coach. It takes it personal enough to get it right, but not personal enough to slow his growth. His body is mature with Coach Stack in the weight room. You just see a more confident kid walking around this building.
Your running back, Desmond Reed can take a play any play the distance, but so can Louisville's running back. What do you see from him? What does he stand out?
Multiple of their running backs the same way. I think Dez is a very comparable, right? You see him bottled up for a game or for a portion of a game, and then give him a crease. I mean, 1 foot, you better be gang tackling, you better be disciplined. Don't you take a step off, because this guy can change the game in a heartbeat. I mean, he's done it every game that he had valuable reps in.
Obviously, Miller Moss is new to their system, but what have you seen from him? And it looks like they're taking some opportunities down the field.
Yeah, it looked like last week they made an effort to get him on track early in the game and got him in some passing situations, get the ball out of his hands quick, but Louisville hasn't changed. It's still Coach Brom's system. He's going to take calculated shots against our defense. So, Coach Brom does a tremendous job, and he very, very good football coach, good play caller. So he fits into what they're asking him to do. I don't see their change in what their scheme is. He's fit in with what they're asking him to do.
When you go back and watch the film from the past 3 games, what really stands out about how the defensive line is playing?
Well, I'm encouraged with the growth, but I'm excited about the best ball being in front of us. The experience is over. We know what we're doing. We know our roles. We've settled into them. I think they're a hungry group right now. We're disappointed in what happened last week. We're capable of more, and we will do more.
Season we've seen Isaiah buff out a little bit, play a little bit of defensive end. I mean, what allows him to do that, be that versatile, and how does that help you?
Well, if you watch Isaiah Neal, all he does is compete. Just competes all the time. So you're like, okay, we got to find a role, more and more roles for this kid. He's a defensive tackle, and most of his reps will come there. But maybe the big personnel groupings will bump him out there because he's gained some weight and he's stout out there on the edge against the run and able to move him around. He's very intelligent. His football intelligence is as high as anybody in the room and maybe on the defense. So he can handle a lot mentally. Really, the kid loves football. Want him on the field. I want more guys competing like him in everything that they do.
I think Coach Bates mentioned his football intelligence as well about him a couple weeks ago. I mean, is that something that took a big step forward this year, this offseason, or has that always been?
No, I think his experience in seeing things has helped him playing last year. But the kid's smart. I didn't make him smart. He came in smart. And he loves football. Yeah.
I got one. Blaine, you talked a lot about Blaine Spires in training camp, the coach did. He's playing with an injured hand. How impressive is it to you, his performance, knowing that he's, technically injured?
Well, I think anytime you get a kid later on down the rope in his career, they come through the doors different, and that's Blaine. He's an old man in our room, and he prepares that way. He practices that way. He wants to be out there. There's no concessions made for the little cast on his hand. He's just fine. I don't pay any attention to it because he doesn't. He doesn't want it that way. I really love being around Blaine every day.
I think it's probably natural that after a loss, you kind of just want to get back out there and start playing. What can you guys have, or what did you guys take from having this extra time, having the bye week?
Well, we got on the road for a couple of days and went out on the road and recruited a little bit, and then came back in here, analyzed what we can do better, what we did well, and then got a couple extra days on Louisville. A very, very good football team, and particularly what my concern, offensively, a very good football team.
Is Joel still young enough where it's like every time he takes a play, every time he takes a rep, you can kind of the growth is a little exponential, like you can see it in real time?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, he's, like you said, he's young, so he's still a redshirt freshman without a lot of experience playing ball. And then every rep, the more reps he gets, and the biggest thing for him is he's been available. Your best ability is availability. So he's been available, so that helps him get better and better and better. You see him getting more and more comfortable. So it's been great.
With his game, obviously Dez does so much for you guys in the passing game. Can Joel's do that same type of thing, like, catching passes?
Absolutely. Yeah, he can. He can catch it out of the backfield. He can run good routes. He runs hard. Yeah. So he can do, and then he can run too. His best attribute is he can run. Probably not as fast as Dez, but still can run as well. So he can do a lot of good things for us. That's why, we kind of like not have to, pull back on the game plan as much because we feel like he can do a lot of the stuff that Dez does as well.
Talk to us about maybe some things needing to be straightened out with regards to his pass protection. Just where are the biggest areas of growth for Joel at this point in time in his career?
The biggest area, I think, just more I think really just getting more comfortable. Before it was, kind of him playing behind his pads, stuff like that, and kind of lowering his pads and stuff like that and running hard. But now, I mean, pass pro shoot, I could probably say he had to pick up pass pro like 10 times, last game. And I think he probably missed one that caused a quarterback hurry or two quarterback hurry. But other than that, I mean, that was the growth that I wanted to see because he had to pass block so much the previous week. So that part was good. But other than that, I would just say the more football, because he's a very, very coachable kid. He's the type of kid that whatever you tell him to do, like he's gonna try his best to do it. And it takes a lot of reps, but the more and more football he continue to play, he's gonna continue to grow in every area of the game. So.
How has having Ja'Carrion Turner back in the mix helped the room as a whole?
Oh, great. I think because it's a really good room. All those guys can really play and do different things. And him with just his speed that he plays with and the speed that he plays the game, and his ability to make guys miss as well, it raises the level in the whole room to, make them want to play, that much faster. So having him back just, again, as another body and for him to be, super young as a true freshman, for him to get these reps is crucial for him and for the team because we feel like he can help us.
How do you assess his performances so far?
He's been, about high average. He's been about high average. He hasn't got a lot of playing time. I think last game he got 3 carries. So but the more, he's been out. So the more he, stays with us and stays healthy, I think the better and better he's going to get and the more comfortable he will get, just like Joel's. But now he's just at a more accelerated pace because, he's in the fire now. So, but overall, though, he's been great. He's a kid that works his tail off. I mean, he's up here at 5:45 in the morning every day, studying film, trying to learn, and he's up here working. So he's going to continue to get better. So.
He had a couple of key snaps. Ja'Carrion had a couple of key snaps in that fourth quarter on that final true drive of the game. He had one for like 2 yards and had that quick swing pass. I mean, looking back at the tape with him, what were some of the things that he could maybe correct to try to get him a couple more yards there?
On that one, I think on the screen, on the third down, I think he got all he could do on that. Probably do a better job of just kind of making guys miss, but he did a good job of catching the ball and then getting vertical, which is what I wanted him to do. But probably could have made at least 2 more guys miss to try to get the first down. And on the one run, it was better than the run that he had early on in the game when he first got in the game in that second half. But just he trusted it, got to the B gap, but then when he got there, safety just met him in the hole. And then he did a good job of bouncing off that and kind of falling forward for 2 yards. So it was more so correcting kind of the 2 runs that he had early on in that second half when he first got in the game. It was more that we watched film, and he understood exactly what he seen and what went wrong, and he was good there.
Do you feel like your backs have read the blocking well up front?
Yeah, I think so. I think they read it pretty well. I think those 2, the young guy, Ja'Carrion, I think he missed 2. He missed 2 run reads. But for the most part, I think they've done a good job with it.
What has stood out about just Louisville defensively and what they bring?
Oh, speed. Speed. They fly around. They physical. They play hard. So I mean, up front and their backers. And safeties too. 21, he's pretty good. But that's really what it is. Speed, they fly around, but that's what they always been known for in Big East days. They was always known for that back in the Charlie Strong days. So, and it's still carrying on with Coach Brom. So.
As you guys get into ACC play, what can you maybe do to create some more? What can your group do to create some more explosive runs?
Continue to, trust it, continue to trust it. And, I think the more that, Coach K, runs it, the better it's going to be. The more opportunities they get, I think will help that. And them keep trusting the runs and what we call, and then making guys miss on the second level when they do get the opportunity to. I think that'll help as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, Des went down I think in the first quarter of that game. What did you like from your guys' response to it? Because he brings so much to your offense. How did you like your backs just being like, okay, it's my turn?
Oh, next man up. We talk about that all the time. I challenge them every single day. If anybody goes down, and honestly, that's a great question because throughout camp, throughout spring ball, that was always the message. If something happens to Des, I should be able to close my eyes and say, hey, go, and no matter who it is. So that was always the theme, the message. They knew that it was going to always be next man up, and when their opportunity came, they had to be ready. And I think they were. And I think Des does a great job, too, of coaching them up and helping them be prepared just in case, whether he's down or not getting a lot of reps at practice, and they're getting the reps. He's teaching them as well too to, hey, be ready, man. You gotta, make sure you make the right reads and do this and press the line of scrimmage and all those good things that we talk about in the room. And those guys do a great job of listening to him too as well.
Any final? Coach,
It just seems the way Louisville's skill position players are, it seems like there's a lot of crossover with how you guys would recruit. I mean, I guess what stands out about their running backs, their wide receivers, and just kind of what they do on offense?
Again, speed. They just got a lot of speed. It seems like they don't do a lot, especially from an offensive standpoint, from what I've seen and watched and studied. But they do it well. And again, it's just speed, and that's what we love too, speed. And they guys got some length too as well. But yeah, you are right. It is a little crossover and similar. You know what I mean? They like guys with speed, and we got guys with speed as well too. So.
Through 3 quarters, West Virginia only had 14 points. Then obviously they had some success in the 4th quarter. What do you attribute that to, and what do you think you guys can learn from that experience?
I think we just gotta stay on them. Maybe the momentum isn't going our way, but defense at the end of the day, if they score points, if they don't score no points, we win the game. So I think I think we just gotta stay on them full throttle and just, play every play like it's our last, no matter how the game's going. Because, I feel like all of us, we feel like we should have, won that game for sure. But, now we're just on the next week, Louisville.
I think a lot of the numbers say you guys played pretty well against the run on defense. How has it felt being on the field and watching film? You felt like you guys been satisfied with the performance?
Definitely not satisfied, we let up a lot of yards against, our opponent last week. A lot of yards that, we're good enough to not allow, So we're never satisfied. We can allow only 30 yards rushing. We won't be satisfied. We want them to be negative. So, we all know we got to come to work every day, with a chip on our shoulder, and we're trying to be the best in the country. So we still got ways to get there. So.
Through the first 3 games, what have you really noticed about this defensive line as a whole?
I just think we all trust each other. We truly, this year it feels a little different because this year we truly trust each other. We're truly out there balling for each other. If Fitz or Ghost or Nick makes a play, I'm excited for him, but then that motivates me to go and make a play too. There's so much competition in that room, and it's all good competition. We're all just on go all the time, just ready to try to take our game to the next step. That competition inside the D-line room just breeds that, so it's amazing.
I feel like the D-line through 3 games has just been able to get push at the line of scrimmage and pressure the pocket.
You said how? Can you repeat that again?
Yeah, just Coach Daoust was talking to us just about how you guys have been able to pressure the pocket. And while you guys lead the ACC in sacks, he just said he would like to see you guys just finish on plays a little bit more. So just how through a number of games have you felt like you guys have gotten pushed to the line of scrimmage and just been able to pressure the pocket?
Yeah, I think the guys on our D-line have been playing real good, getting to the quarterback, pressuring the quarterback, interior guys being able to, push up the pocket from the inside and make the quarterback, step out and roll out to the outside, and vice versa. The ends pushing the quarterback to step up into us, and us making plays off of that. But we, like Dow said, we still have a lot of things we can fix. Last game, I missed another sack. I could have had, at least 2 sacks that game, but I didn't finish. So maybe in practice I got to work on, finishing harder, and just being more attention to my detail, and that goes for everybody, we're doing pretty good right now, but we got we got really big goals for ourselves. So, yeah.
Finishing sacks or finishing plays. Is that, especially with the sacks, is that tackling technique? Is it, what do you feel like?
It's pretty much tackling technique, but sack tackling technique's a little different because you're usually in a bad position to make the tackle, but you got to finish it. For example, the play I was talking about last game, I hit a lineman with a push-pull, and then I was trying to wrap around him, and the quarterback's stepping up, and I'm basically just trying to dive to make the sack. It's a bad position to be in as a tackler, trying to get the ball carrier down, but that is still if I'm in that position, I gotta make it happen. It doesn't matter if it's a good position, bad position. I gotta figure out a way to, just hone in on my technique, on my finishing when it comes to my tackling technique to, bring the quarterback down in those situations.
The defense was out there for about 90 plays. Obviously, the final drive in regulation, the final drive in overtime, not the outcomes you wanted with giving up the touchdowns, but what can you take away from that experience so early this season and use it moving forward?
I thought, it didn't go the way we wanted, but we never gave up out there. Our defensive mentality is to never give up, and give the same effort, on game days from the first play to the last play. And I feel like the effort was there. We didn't finish correctly. We allowed them to score. That's on me. That's on us as a defense. But what I'm proud about as a defense is the energy never leaves. We always believe that we can, end the game. We can take the game over. So that's what I'm proud about.
We've seen a lot from Zach Crothers through these first 30 games. What have you noticed about him on the field?
I think he's just real comfortable now. He's real. It's the second year. He put the work in the off season, and now it's his time to shine. He's been given his opportunity, and he's made the most out of it. He's a quiet kid, but he's a hungry kid. And he wants it just as bad as all of us. And now he's had his opportunity to go out there and make plays, and he's been really making a lot of plays. So yeah.
What stands out? I know he's a little banged up right now about Isaac Brown and just the challenges he brings as Louisville's running back.
He's just a real fast, explosive guy, but, he's a fast, explosive guy. He's young, so it's impressive what he can do, but I have full confidence in our guy. In our guys, we don't really worry about anybody, no matter, who it is we're lined up against. So he's a good player, but, we have full confidence that, no matter how good he is, that don't matter. We got him. So,
Rasheem, I guess, I think just the general competitiveness, like after a loss, guys want to get back into it and just play that next game. What's it been like to just have a week off to kind of sit on that one?
It's been kind of rough, but obviously, we had a bye week after this, so obviously we just got fresh looking into this ACC play. We've been able to watch more film, get back to our details. So it's been tough, but obviously you just gotta look at the pros, gotta get over it, and we've been able to get our bodies right and lock in on more details with film. Just prepare for this next game we got.
Rasheem being the leader on this team, what's it felt like kind of that same vein, but knowing that win was there for you, that you guys maybe left a few plays out on the field that could have changed the game?
Yeah, it was tough, but obviously you just gotta get past it, gotta get the team past it. Got to fix the details and just make sure it never happen again. And I think we all got that mindset that it can't happen again. We can't lose again this season. We got to go 1-0 every week. And I think the whole team has got that mindset now.
Rasheem, you're leading the team in tackles as of right now. What do you feel like has been going well for you individually?
Just greeting my keys, getting downhill, just playing fast. That's really all it's been, just watching more film, knowing what's happening, because like I was saying, watching more film, I'm gonna know stuff before it's happening. So that's really what I've just been keen in, watching more film, knowing what's gonna happen before it happens, and just trying to make a play.
There was about 11 or 12 missed tackles in the game against West Virginia, about 9 of them in terms of run defense. What led to some of those mistakes, and how can you fix those?
Just little details. Coach Bates been big on emphasizing we got to get back to our fundamentals, our little details, clean up little things like taking that extra step into the hoop, playing low, just stuff like that. And obviously we just got to do that. And I think on missed tackles, obviously we're going to always take our shots, but we can just make them like more detail and make them more like risk-reward type shots. That's what I feel like we just got to do better with that, for real.
Louisville brings a lot of speed offensively. Just what are you noticing on film about them so far that makes that offense challenging?
They true to what they run. Like their coach, it's a great scheme. They got some fast guys, like you said. They running back, he pretty fast. They got some good fast receivers. They just run their scheme very well. Like they execute their scheme. Like their coach, like the offensive coordinator, that scheme they got for them, they execute it well, and they gonna continue to do that. So we just gotta be able to be detailed and know like what's gonna come.
What has been your impression of the linebacker unit as a whole through these first 3 games?
We've been all right. You feel me? It's still a lot of details, a lot of more plays out there for us, obviously. Obviously, we have made some plays, but we wouldn't be obviously we wouldn't be the best in the country, and we want everybody to know that. So we feel like we ain't been doing enough, and we lost, obviously. So obviously we didn't do enough in the loss. So we obviously just have to be better as a team, as like the leaders of our defense, our linebackers, we take pride in that. So when we lose a game and they have a whole bunch of rushing yards, that obviously don't look good on us at all. So we know we just got to be way better, and we just got to set the tone, how the whole defense going, the offense going, the whole team in general. And that's what we're going to continue to do this season.
In that same respect, I mean, right before the season, you guys lost to your linebackers. I mean, did you guys kind of feel it? Like, I think West Virginia ran 92 plays against you guys.
Nah, because obviously we want those plays. Like, if we was on the sideline, we'd be mad that we on the sideline. So us being out there for more plays, we happy with it. We just got to execute. And obviously that did kind of hurt a little bit, like with our depth. But our three main starters is here, so we got to just execute. And we got guys like Cam Lindsey, Nick Lappy, who's been stepping up like every day. So we know at any time that they're ready to go. So we're not really worried about depth for real.